Today, in this video, we are going to discuss that how a differential equation will act as a mathematical model. Moreover, we will describe how a physical situation, how a physical situation, how a physical situation can be described with the help of differential equation as a mathematical model. In this video, we mainly considered the two basic situations. First of all, we will discuss the basic population growth model that is mainly known as the population dynamics. And then we will discuss the radioactive decay of a substance. Radioactive decay mainly include the decay of a substance or the transmute of a substance to another substance. Before going to jump into the population growth model or the population dynamics, let me introduce to you the basics of the mathematical modeling, that why we are interested in the mathematical modeling and how do we proceed while we are doing with the mathematical modeling. First of all, when we are dealing with a physical situation, then we convert that physical situation into a mathematical model with the help of some assumptions. First of all the mathematical models are under some assumptions. Uh, then, with the help of these assumptions and with some known basic laws, with some known basic laws, we we transform or express assumptions in terms of differential equations, and that differential equation will act as a mathematical model or the mathematical formulations of that physical situation. After that, we solve the that obtained mathematical model or the mathematical formulations. We solve that differential equations involved in that particular mathematical model and obtain the solution of that differential equations. After that, we plot the solution. We plot the obtained solution of the differential equations and try to compare the model predictions with the known facts, that the data we already have from industry, from experiments, or with some known sources. After that, if our uh, mathematical model solutions coincide with the known facts or the known data, then we say our mathematical model is okay. And we use that mathematical model to predict in future or to look in the past. After that, if our mathematical solution or the known facts doesn't coincide or doesn't match to each other up to certain limit with the negligible error, then we will go, if the error is more, if the error is more, then we will go to alter our assumptions or increase the resolution of our model. Then we change our assumptions with the again same repeated procedures. We express assumptions in terms of mathematical formulation. We solve that differential equations. After the solution of that differential equations, we plot that solutions. If our plotted solutions doesn't match up to certain extent, or up to the required tolerance, it doesn't match to the known facts, then again we repeat that procedure up till we keep going in that cycle until we obtain the required mathematical model whose solution matches to the given data, given known facts, or experimental data, or the industrial outcomes. If it matches to our industrial outcomes up to certain extent or with negligible error, then we say that mathematical model is particularly describe the given physical situation in a better way. So that is the basic procedure. While using that procedure, we get our mathematical equations or mathematical model. What will be the advantage of that mathematical model? The solution of the model gives the state of the system. Mean you can get the value of the dependent variable or the unknown in past, present, and future with the help of that mathematical model. Otherwise, if you don't have a mathematical model, then you have to invest a lot to do experiments for a large number of times or with prolonged situations, and that can be costly in many situations and cannot be helpful to a industrialist. So with the help of mathematical models, you can get the predictions for the past and future as well from the present mathematical model if it matches to the present data. Now we will discuss the basic population model that was introduced by the English economist Thomas Malthus. Thomas Malthus first introduced the mathematical model for the population growth, and it is the basic population growth model that is usually used further to invent the more advanced population growth models. What was our first step in the mathematical modeling of the physical situation? First, we deduce our differential equation or the mathematical model under some assumptions. That is, first of all, we have to assume that what are the assumptions while we are dealing with the population dynamics. So the English economist Thomas Malthus deduced its mathematical model under the assumption. What was that assumption? He assumed that the population, the rate at which the population of a country grows at a certain time is proportional to the total population of the country at that time. He considered population to be a function of time, mean population is represented by P. P is equal to P of T. And he further assumed that the rate of change of population with respect to time, mean dP by dt, first derivative represent the rate of change of dependent variable with respect to the independent variable. Change of population with respect to time, rate of change of population with respect to time is directly proportional to population present at that time. He assumed that the change in population, rate of change of population is directly proportional to the population present in a certain country or a region under observation. So under these assumptions, we can write that dp by dt is equal to p, or p of t, because population is a function of time. It changes as with the change of time. In order to remove this proportionality sign, we can write dp by dt is equal to kp, where k is a constant of proportionality, and it's a growth rate. So we assume that the value of k should be greater than 0, uh, where k is constant of proportionality. Constant of proportionality or growth rate. So that is the differential equation. dp by dt is equal to kp, or dp by dt minus kp is equal to 0. It's a homogeneous first order differential equation that represent the population growth model given by Thomas Malthus. It's a first order homogeneous and linear differential equation. No, you can notice that there are some factors that are not considered by the Thomas. If you look around your region, around the population of a certain city, you can see the population also depend upon time. Mean with the passage of time, the population changes, but the immigration and the emigration in that particular region also affect the population, which is not considered or encountered in the above mathematical model presented by Thomas Malthus. Moreover, the death rate or the environmental impacts are not considered on the population dynamics. Population dynamics model presented by Thomas Malthus is not catered these areas, immigration and emigration, and the death rate and the environmental impact, environmental impact on the population dynamics. These factors are later encountered, are later tackled by the other scientists to improve the quality of the population growth model. But this is the most basic method, basic model firstly presented by Thomas Malthus. But this model is still used to model the growth of small populations over short interval of time. The model presented by dp by dt is equal to kp can be used for the prediction of the population in past, present, and future, for that populations where we are dealing with the small populations over a short interval of time. For example, the bacteria growing in petri dish. Petri dish is usually used by biologists to hold the growth medium. To hold the growth medium, for example, the bacterial growth. The bacterial growth in a petri dish can be tackled with this model dp by dt is equal to kp. But overall, the prediction of a population in a region, in a country, um, is not accurately determined with the Thomas Malthus model. For that, there are many other population dynamics models are presented in the literatures and can accurately be used for the prediction of the population of a certain region over a specified interval of time. Now we will discuss the decay of a substance. More active, the radioactive decay. The nucleus of an atom consists of protons and neutrons, and many of these nuclei are unstable, and the atoms start decay or transmute into an atoms of other substances. The atoms that are with this property are known as the radioactive, and the substance as a whole is known as a radioactive substance. For example, the highly radioactive substance is a radium. It is converted into a gas, radon, Rn222. It's converted into a radioactive gas, radon, transmute into a radioactive gas, radon. So when you are dealing with these kind of radioactive substances, you can also use the decay model in a same pattern as that of a growth model in the population dynamics. And in a radioactive decay, the assumption is same, that the rate at which the nuclei of a substance, let it is represented by A of t, mean the change in nuclei of a substance depends upon time. The rate of a nuclei of a substance decay, mean the rate at which the nuclei of a substance start decreasing, is directly proportional to the number of nuclei present at that time. Number of nuclei present at that time. Similarly, to remove the constant of proportionality, here we use k as a constant of proportionality, or similarly it can be regarded as decay rate. As it is a decay rate, so we must assume that the value of k is less than 0. Moreover, if you look at that differential equation and the one presented in the growth model, these both differential equations are same, because here we are considering the nuclei of a substance as A of t, and in our previous case we considered the population of a certain region as a function of time. Only difference you can look for that is the value of k. In the above differential equation, dp by dt is equal to kp. Here we considered k is greater than 0, mean we are considering the growth model, and here we are considering the decay model. So here the value of k is less than, you consider the value of k should be less than 0. Moreover, you can note that a single differential equation such as d over dt into p of t is equal to kp, or dA over dt is equal to Ka. The both differential equations are same, only here unknown is population, here unknown is the nuclei of a substance, the number of nuclei of a substance that depends upon time. So both differential equations are same, and you can say that a single differential equation can serve as a mathematical model for many different phenomena. With the k is greater than 0 for the population model, and k is less than 0 for the radioactive decay model. Of course, Here, one thing is very important to note that in the introduction to mathematical modeling section, we discussed only this part. That is, first we use some assumptions, and with the help of that assumptions, we obtain the mathematical formulation. That is, dp by dt is equal to kp for the growth model, population growth model. We reach at this point. After that, for the decay model, dA by dt is equal to ka. Again, we reached at this point. After that, we have to solve this differential equation, obtain solution, and plot that solution, and check whether our solution plot is matching up to certain accuracy limit to the data available at that time. We didn't complete these steps. We will complete these steps in our future lectures, but up till now we have discussed only how with the help of assumptions we can reach to a differential equation. Although I can say that the differential equation dp by dt is equal to kp. It's a growth model, and its solution will be an exponential, and we will see it later, and its plot will be act as like this. The population growth model, mean population keep on increasing with the passage of time. Moreover, in our radioactive decay model, dA by dt is equal to Ka, as K is less than 0. So A of t and t, its plot will be a exponential decay, mean like that. The A of t starting with some fixed value and keep on decreasing because k is less than 0, and it should be its solution is also an exponential, and the decay is an exponential decay. No, look, this is a starting value. This is a starting value when you start noting the decay of a given substance. Let you can say the starting value is a naught when time t is equal to 0. Similarly, if you look at this, when you just put your stopwatch on at time t is equal to 0, population at that time is p naught. Population at time t is equal to 0 is p naught. These are some other conditions that if you are given with these conditions, then your problem is more specified and you obtain a particular solution in that way. Mean, in a more confined form, you can write your problem as dp by dt is equal to kp with some alongside initial condition p at time t is equal to 0 is equal to p naught. Now this is your complete problem that will give you a particular solution instead of the general solution, and that condition is known as initial condition for that problem, and this is a complete a problem that will describe your physical phenomena. Similarly, for the radioactive decay, you can write your complete initial value problem or a complete problem as dA by dt is equal to Ka, where A at t is equal to 0 is equal to a naught. Now this is your complete initial value problem with this initial condition, and of course k is less than 0. This is complete problem that will describe your radioactive decay. I hope now you will understand how a mathematical model is obtained under certain assumptions. And thank you very much for your listening.